Hey guys, man. It is time for another session, man, of Couples Connect. I'm your host, man, Kevin Locks, and
Tanya.
this is Tanya Locks, man. So we're here today, man, to talk to another amazing couple about their journey, man, with marriage and business and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Me and my boo thing, we do business together, right? And sometimes that can be a challenge, but I don't know, man. Today, man, we might learn some tips, man, on how to do this thing, how to make it work as a couple doing business together. So we are excited today. We have this amazing couple who are also dear friends of ours, man. Please help us welcome Mr. Reginald and Natoyia Jyles to the podcast. Welcome to Couples Connect, guys. Welcome to Couples Connect.
Thank you.
Yeah, so man, I know we've tried to schedule this with you guys a couple times and schedule you guys busy.
You're busy. You're just,
which is good, right? The business is the one thing that kind of had you guys real super busy, and we're just trying to make all this work, man. But so me and my boo, we know y'all, man. We know y'all right around the cut. We also neighbors and good stuff.
That's true.
But everybody else might not know who you guys are and anything about you. So if y'all could kind of let everybody know what you guys got going on, man. Tell us maybe how long y'all been married, y'all got kids, all that good stuff, how you met, all that good stuff. So
do they have enough time here? Yeah. Well, I'm Reginald Giles. Of course, it's my wife, Toya, and of course we've been married going on 22 years come this December of 2024. So I say 21, almost like kids. We going on 22. And how we met at the mall. In fact, we were just talking about that the other day, that we actually met at the mall. So I was looking for a swimsuit calendar for my friend Haywood, who father had a swimsuit that was in a package, but we couldn't open it. So you all can look on the back of it and see all 12, months here of this swimsuit model called Joy. And truth be told, she was a joy to look at. And so I said, you know what, for Christmas, I'm going to go get that swimsuit calendar for Haywood because of the fact that, his dad wouldn't allow us to open it. I said, but I'm going to get one for him. So I went to one mall in Louisiana because I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My wife from Gonzales. And so I went to one mall, but they didn't have it. And I remember seeing it at Cortana Mall. Well, Cortana Mall, I went through Cortana Mall, and before I met Toya, I was once engaged. I think I got unengaged, and of course I took that time for a year to heal. But so during that whole year, going to church, of course, Bible study on Thursday night, church on Sunday morning, Sunday evening, intercessory prayer on the weekends and stuff. And so it was during Christmas time in December. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to start dating until January. I had that in my head, January here. So as I'm walking through JCPenney's, I'm cut through JCPenney's to get to the calendar. I saw one couple. Now, guys, I've been doing good the whole year. I get to one couple walking past me, Christmas music playing, everything looked nice and pretty. And then when they passed me, here I am, start whining. Lord, I don't have nobody. Everybody got somebody. Now, they big people on the globe. I only saw one couple, everybody got somebody. I don't got nobody, Lord. And of course, the good Lord said, if you can just walk for 5 more minutes, you're going to see your bride on the other side. I was just 5 minutes around the corner. I'm up here just a whine. And so that lets me know for those who may be watching there, hold on, your change will come. And so when I came around the corner, I saw Toya. And when I saw her, I said, well, I'm not going to approach her because truth be told, if I don't supposed to start dating till January.
This was December.
In December, but I said, but if she was to come on to me, Lord, it's on and popping. I really said that. So when I went down, and long story short, I asked her about the calendar. Y'all already know what type of calendar it was here. So how I knew that Toya may have been interested in me or like me, she asked me, am I buying this calendar for my girlfriend? And so I looked at the camera like Eddie Murphy did, as in, yeah, she into me. And of course, that's how we met. We met that day, of course. I asked her what time she getting off for work. I think she said maybe 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And I told her I can come back to meet her and show her around town. Because she'll come to Baton Rouge to go to work, then go back to Gonzales. But I told her that you're always passing through. I can show you the city of Baton Rouge. And I think we hung out, for like 5 p.m. to like 11 or 12 midnight that day. And since then to now, we've been together. So that's really how we met.
So I see Toya shaking her legs. She looking at you like this. And I just feel like she have a different story.
It should be the same story. Unless I got a twin. I don't mean no harm, but I let her share it unless you're going to say ditto, you know.
The same story, but he likes to say that I came on to him.
What I just said.
I'd like to say I was just doing my job. So I think I did well. I think I accomplished the goal. I made the sale.
You close the deal too.
I think she going to get to heaven. God going to tell her, truth be told, you came on to him. Look, Lord, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah, so we do have 2 kids. Nia is 20. Layla is 15. And of course, you know, we live in the same neighborhood that you guys live in. I think for the past 11 years now.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So tell me this, man. So, you know, me and my wife, we do a business together. We do have our race company, you know, and we got challenges, you know, husband and wife, and we had to work through some many things where we had to kind of find our own lane in our business, right? Things that she was good at, I had to let that go, and things that I was in control of, you know, she had to just kind of let me do my thing. And now it's just kind of working at home, working like a well-oiled machine. But in the beginning, it was some challenges, right? Trying to figure it all out. You guys own a business now, right? Because we're gonna get right into this thing. Right? You guys own a business now. What kind of business you guys own together right now? Let's talk about that. What's the name of the business, and what does it entail?
So we own a limousine business, and name of the business is called JIFE Luxury Car Service. The JIFE, of course, is an acronym that stands for Jesus is for Everybody. So we always make the statement that, like Chick-fil-A, they fry chicken for Jesus, we do transportation for Jesus. You know,
They fried chicken for Jesus.
The gospel bird. The gospel bird.
That bird is from God. Love
Yes.
it. Love it. So what does that all entail? Do y'all pick people up from different? I mean, it's transportation. So
right. So anything dealing with transportation, pretty much we do. You know, if you're going to the airport, or you can do a concert, anniversaries that you guys may just have, a company event, executives that, you know, coming in for an interview here. If you got like Mary Kay, you know, have the conference that come in yearly that, you know, we actually do a whole lot of business with. It's things that anything dealing with transportation, we do.
But listen, baby, they don't just pick up anybody.
right.
They picked up Shakira, the Olympic runner.
Yeah.
The fastest, is she the fastest woman in the world? Shakari.
Kari, yeah.
They picked up Shakari.
Yeah.
I mean, so they don't just pick up anybody.
Yeah, man. So talk about a little bit about your clientele. And how do you? So I'm assuming is this something like accounts you get maybe with well, I'm assuming some of it is some accounts. How do you get your clientele? And how do you get?
I would say that, you know, I think my wife said it best here. So this is almost like me speaking on her behalf without her even speaking, so she can add to it really. But I want to say that Tori will always, I drink coffee, of course, my wife do tea. So when we're sitting at the table and just talking and sharing life together, one of the things she'll make mention of is that you would think that people, you know, who has kind of like influence, power, and to be able to, you know, to bring us business here, that really God wouldn't even, in a sense, use them. It'd be some of the most unlikely people that God would use to just remind us that, you know, He's in control. Because we'll think that, you know, surely if I know so-and-so, or I have a relationship with so-and-so, that surely they'll give us a plug, or they would do X, Y, and Z. But really, even with, what's your pronounce the name? Shakari. All right. Well, with Shakari, that only happened because of the fact that we had one client who actually know a client of ours here who recommended our service because of the fact that he just believed in just supporting black businesses, but also wanted something of a quality limousine company, and they referred us here. Although we know a lot of, as your wife would say, high people here, but we also know just some people in some low places that honestly God have used. Most of, I'd say 98% of our business have come from just, you know, people like me and you, you know, that just don't mind just referring. And because of that here, even the UT Southwestern clientele that we have now, that have come as a result of, you know, really of a client that we have, that his wife just worked there. And because of that, you know, just referred us there. It took maybe like maybe like a year. I want to say a year to kind of work our name in. And over time here, we really have, I think out of 24 departments that they have, we have like at least 9 departments that we do business with. And that have come behind time, hard work, as you guys know, grit, praying to God here. And like I told Toy, you can't force things to happen there. You just got to give God time to work some things along the way here. Because, for example, if he's trying to use you, Kevin, to be a blessing to us, well, he got to work through you, Kevin. And if you ain't cooperating, well, he got to get you to cooperate just to be a blessing to us. We up here talking about, Lord, come through. And he looking like, I'm trying to work with Kevin. I'm trying to get him to move so he could work through. So it's just being patient enough to really be able to say, hey, you know what? Give God time to do his thing. In the meantime, let us continue to do what we do. And in time, people will begin to come. The clientele will grow.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think for a large part, when we say that Jesus is for everybody, a big part of that is it's no matter who steps into that car, no matter who it is, because we also do philanthropy where we actually give transportation or we donate services to individuals who cannot afford it. And so say, for example, if you have elderly, older individuals or even children who are dealing with childhood illnesses and those things, we work with families and we work with individuals to support them with that process. We give a certain amount of hours a year. And once we reach that cap, of course, then we move on to the next year and we start fresh. But it's really about not just us receiving, but it's also about giving back.
Oh, yeah.
To individuals in our community. And we just see how God just blesses that.
Yeah.
And so, definitely just going back on that, God will use the unlikeliest of people to bless you. Who you think in our own way of thinking, that's not how he does it. And so often he just reminds us that we're not the ones that's in control, but he is.
Yeah.
And so,
I absolutely love it, man.
That was good.
Jesus is for everybody.
Jesus is for everybody.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So what are y'all roles in the business, right? So what Reginald, what do you do in the business? And also, what do you do?
Yeah. My job is to woo you in the car and she get the money. No, I'm just kidding. Toy do the administrative work in the background. So anything dealing with our invoices here, billing, anything dealing with, the marketing, the newsletter. My wife is extremely well in that area. Leave it up to me. Some things just would not get done. In fact, running a small business, I understand other people on the outside, it may look like we're doing so well. It's almost like going to someone's home where the dining room by the foyer is nice and clean, but everything else just looks just dirty and junky or nasty here. That's pretty much so it's me. My office here is just, a wreck, but my wife is a very good organizer. So I really appreciate Toya coming on in to be able to allow us to really to grow. Because there are things that God has given me as far as, the head as a vision to just really to move forward, but it won't get done through me because I don't have the time. I don't have the capacity to write grants. I don't have the capacity or the time to be able to do contracts here, bid opportunities we have. All that is to Toya. And honestly, I appreciate that. In fact, I told Toya, you have done more in 1 year in the business here than what I have been able to do in 7 years here. So I appreciate her finally getting on board. Truth be told, I'm glad that she finally became obedient to God and stopped rebellion and came on. We wouldn't be going through all this here. Look, Reginald Jyles would be going through all this here if my better half would just come on the board when she did. But I appreciate that. But on my side here, I did more so dealing with the taking care of the cars here, making sure they clean, they wax it, maintenance being done on the car, making sure that we build relationship. I have known that when I first started the company that God spoke to my heart concerning really being able to build relationships. He said, now to some people that's not going to make sense for Reginald, but honestly, relationships are going to carry you a long way. Case in point, I give all the time that I absolutely love. If you and your wife decide y'all want to do business. Let's say that, you didn't know us from Adam and you had a limousine A, you had limousine B. They both provide the same car, same service, same water, same mints, same level of comfort. What would be the difference of you choosing limousine A, limousine B? Because they both serve this, they both do the exact same thing. I would like to think the difference would be relationship. If you know me and Toya, you may just say, hey, we want to support the Giles here because we know them here. Or we want to support them because we have people love doing business with people that they enjoy, being, involved or have a network with here versus the other person. Nothing against them, but because you know so-and-so, you would support them. So even growing up, I can remember back in Louisiana, our church has some kind of thing going on with our group camp or something, and we had to go eat. And we was maybe like 20 minutes away, but the group leader said, we're going to McDonald's. So they put everybody on the bus. And so we got on the bus, and I'm wondering, why are we passing 5 McDonald's just to go to one McDonald's? I mean, I was sincere about that. I'm like, why are we passing all this? I'm hungry. I want my Happy Meal. So once we got off the bus, I pulled him to the side and I asked him, I said, hey, brother so-and-so, why is it that, you went to this particular McDonald's? And he said, because he's a minority owner and we want to support our own. I don't believe that we get enough support, and I just want to show my support. So it made sense to me why he passed up 5 McDonald's. It didn't have anything to do against him, but it was that relationship here.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of the things that I have come to see in our business, is that the sense that God have used relationship really to help build our business.
And exceptional service. Because the relationship will get the business, but then it's how do we maintain that? How do we keep that? How do we have clients coming back for that recurring business? And then not only that, but referring it. And many times it's because of the level of service that they experience. Not just that it's a relationship, but many times also, man, you don't have to do that for me, or you don't have to. This is what we do. Yeah. We love on our clients. We want you to have that experience that is unforgettable, that is memorable. We don't know what your day was today, but hopefully we can add a little sweetness, a little something kind to it. A little jive. A little jive. But we all go through things, we experience things. And many times on that ride, sometimes we're that one conversation that they've had all day. Or sometimes maybe it's not the conversation you need. You just need to sit and think and just breathe. Well, that's an opportunity you have to do that and feel comfortable in that. But not only that, but just reliable, on time, and taken care of, So I think it's all of those elements coming together. And then that's what we get. We get JIFE 9 years later.
This is so good. So what I'm hearing is that, Reginald, you're the entrepreneur.
Right.
And the risk taker. And you're not so much the risk taker.
Not so much.
Okay. I understood. You're the same here. And you started the business and Toya came on later.
Right.
So I think this is a 2-part question. What were you doing when he started the business? And why did it take you so long? Did you need to trust him first?
Actually,
this is when we give a general answer. I just want a little bit of both.
trust didn't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
It was just that I had my own profession. I was in education. I taught. From there, I was an instructional coach with supporting teachers. And then from there, I went into being an assistant principal. And so that was my career path. I had already had in my mind exactly what it was that I was going to do, what the trajectory looked like. I may possibly want my own building, or as far as a principal. Or I may want to actually go back, get my doctorate, may still do that, get my doctorate and maybe teach at a college, or, hey, look, the sky's the limit. There are many opportunities. And so that's what was on my mind, right? And so I was just moving forward with that. He was starting out in the business, so he may not have needed as much, or to me, may not have seemed as though he needed as much support in the beginning. But then as the business started kind of, growing and taking off, he started needing some support. So I would drive here and there, a little sprinkle here and there, on a Saturday or on a weekend or whatever. But it was mainly him. He was the one pretty pushing that. And I was like, I have my own thing, right? Until finally God started, pricking my heart, like, okay, it's time to go. And I'm like, I was comfortable. I was comfortable in doing what I was doing. And so as some of us know, you hear that still small voice and well, Lord, I think I might know a little more better than you do at this moment. But no, but then the time came, and God just was like, he just wouldn't leave me alone. The Holy Spirit just really tapped on me there. And I was like, you know what? I've got to come home. And then I just realized, my husband needed help.
Yeah.
He needed that support. He needed that, he had the partnership, but he needed me side by side with him and in this thing together. Now we had to figure out what that looked like as far as those roles.
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, I'm coming from leadership. So, that was a challenge.
And have two leaders on a team.
And so, but needless to say, though, I realized just really how much he needed that support and how much he had carried so much on his own. And then just realizing the relief. We communicated about that. And so I was like, well, hey, I'm obedient now.
Yeah.
So I'm here. So.
Now I'm waiting on Tony to ask me what's my side of the story.
Yes.
Yes.
I was going to ask you,
You
Reginald.
want to ask me that? Okay.
What is your side of the story? Did you try to forward her to come and help you or to quit? Did you try to push her? Were you ever mad with her that she didn't leave fast enough?
I know, and that's one. Look, I'm playing, but at the same time, going, Lord, please don't have us where we fighting going.
Y'all fighting.
Oh, fighting here, Look, I want to say that at the very beginning, I really did ask for my wife help. I really did. I needed help. I wanted to help her, and I think my wife I think she felt like she had kind of like a sense of anxiety about driving here. My wife's personality is one where she may be concerned about how, let's say, for example, you and Kevin may just think about how she driving, how fast she going, how slow she going, if the air is right, is it not? And I have to tell her all the time, who cares about all of that? All they care about is getting from point A, their home, to point B, the airport here. But I mean, she had such anxiety, and I didn't know at the time that was something that was a thing. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, if you just need a ride here, I'm gonna put you in the car, but I'm easygoing. I'm an extrovert, so I don't mind being out. But my wife was just very, in many arguments. This part that she leaving out being kind of sweet. Many arguments that we had behind the fact of, I need you, and you worrying about, how people look and feel and stuff. And so, one, I can take responsibility that in building the business here, and also us being married, I had to learn that, okay, my wife is not built like me. I didn't give her any grace at the very beginning. I really did, because I wasn't thinking about the fact of how she's feeling. I'm thinking about what needs to be done to build the business here. And so we left that alone at the very beginning. Now, at the very end, of course, what it was is that when we just started making six figures, then her eyes got open here. Then she felt the need she want to come on here. Yeah. I can't knock on that here. Okay, now she sees the light here. Okay, now God pricking her heart that she need to come on over, I guess. But other than that, I want to say that's mainly what's the case is that, yes, I did needed help at the very beginning. And if she were built like me, Tori would have came on and would have hit the road like she doing now. Easy peasy. The same woman that's driving now with me and doing business together is the same woman I wish I had at the very beginning, in the sense of her getting over her anxiety. It wasn't her. I didn't give her enough grace on that. And that's something I have to learn in business, to give her grace here. Now, where we bump heads now, yes, that's a question y'all have to ask us, where we can talk about a different elephant in the room concerning how we navigate that. But as far as just being fair to her, I didn't recognize the anxiety.
So we're gonna address that new elephant that's in the room
Yeah.
that we don't know about yet. But so Toya came on board, right? Just kind of recap a little bit. Toya came on board. Things are moving a lot faster now, a lot smoother. Got some processes in place. Things are kind of flowing. We done crossed over 6 figures, and we moving to a certain degree. You would say that's successful business,
Right.
Right? But it wasn't always like that, right? I would like to know how did it all start? How was JIFE born? Where did it come from? So from the very beginning, what kind of put you in that direction to kind of give birth to JIFE?
That's an easy 1, 2, 3. So I want to say that I always wanted to work for myself. So I always wanted to have at least three out of these 3 different businesses. Either one, it didn't matter. I wanted to own a shoe store for women. I know women like to buy shoes. I wanted to own a Subway franchise here. And I also wanted to own a daycare. I didn't want to run a daycare. I wanted just to own it because I know people need to leave their kids somewhere while they go to work. And I knew it was a money generator. Those 3 things I always wanted to, do. I think I wanted to do a car wash too. It's a car wash here. It didn't matter. I used to always wake up during the summertime, and I would watch 2 episodes of TV. One would be a fitness show. Well, a lady, I think her name is Denise Austin here. Okay. And so I exercise with her every morning here. And then after her will come another TV show called Robert Leach, The Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous. Champagne, wishes, and caviar. All I had was Ritz crackers and tuna fish. I ain't know what caviar was. Talking about some champagne, wishes, and caviar. I'm looking like, over on the table. Like, I got tuna fish crackers. Ritz crackers, man. I had it Ritz crackers here. But so with that in mind, I've always had, I really believe God have always put that in my heart since day one here. That's what I wanted to do. Fast forward, I got a job working at TSA. And of course, when I worked for TSA for 11 years, I decided that, I wanted to work for myself. So I took all my retirement money, all $35,000 of it, and then I decided that, I'm going to start my business here. Well, starting a consulting business is good, but it crashed and burned. The reason why it crashed and burned because I didn't have no clientele. It always helped to start a business with a sense of clientele. I just want to throw that out to anyone starting a business, you may just want to build clientele. I ain't have none. And so when it crashed and burned here, since I had a master's degree in finance, I decided to put some resumes out there. At the same time, my wife was working in the school system. And so I wasn't getting any bites. No one called. No one responded to anything at all. And I said, you know what? My mom worked 2 jobs. I got to do something. If my mom have done it, I got to do the same. I just can't have my wife working to support the family here on a dream that I have that really is not going anywhere at that time. And I say to any entrepreneur that you have to know when something is not working to let it go. It's hard to it'd be hard to have it on your wife or the husband to want to fight for your dream here. And they see that, it's been a year, 2 or 3 that it's not going. You really have to know, honestly, if God really having you to stay in it or to be able to let it go and try something else. So I'll put that out there and let somebody else to decide if they need to, to go on in the business or not. But after that, I got a job at Walmart, stocking dog food and cat food at nighttime from 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning. And also, too, I did Pizza Hut locally in our neighborhood. So I used to deliver pizza in our neighborhood. I laugh every time I think about the one time I feel like my wife was ashamed of me because I've got my name tag and I came back home and I had the Pizza Hut sign on top of my car. And I mean, she had that look on her face. She didn't say anything, guys, here. But I'm quite sure when I get to heaven, God gonna let me know too. You was right. She was ashamed here. But she actually said here, I wasn't ashamed of it. I'm looking like as I got back in the car with the Pizza Hut on the side there, bag up. Look, thinking, you was ashamed here. But she wasn't ashamed when I brought home, a large pizza for me and her to share. Look. You had your hand folded as I was leaving. But you had the hands over at 10 p.m. Coming off. But that's another story for another podcast. So So after that, of course, I was doing that. I was doing both of those jobs here. And so it was the time where Uber came out. And so my friend Cynthia said, a good friend of the family, she said, you know what? There's a company called Uber. They're a good company, just came out. You got a good personality. I think you'd be good for the job. So then I said, you know what? I'm not making much money anyway, stocking, at Walmart and also doing pizza on the weekend here. I said, I'd give it a try. So I gave it a try. I did Uber for a year. And one guy in downtown Dallas, he has to travel every single week here. And he actually said, I think by the name of Sean. So Sean said, you know what? I don't want to do business with Uber anymore. I want to do business with you. Well, I didn't have a business. In fact, to show him how much I didn't have a business, I had to go to the Dollar General store to get a receipt book here because he needed to write for his expense report. And I didn't have a receipt. I didn't have a company at all. He just asked me, how much would you charge? And I gave him a price. And then after that, of course, we started doing business every single week here. Well, what really put us on the map was one of y'all guests that you guys had here maybe last week. The Fosters here, that really is a blessing to us here. In our neighborhood, of course, we have the app called the Nextdoor app. Mm-hmm. Well, at that time, Nextdoor, I think, had like 5,500 people on the app. And so they used the service here and went on there and refer. I didn't know how powerful referrals was until I started my own business to really see. But they referred, then somebody else will call, will book, then they'll refer, and then it caught fire. And I want to say that 98% of all our businesses have come through Nextdoor, through word of mouth here, really. So right now, to say that we, like you said, this September 15th will make 9 years in business, to say we have 1,600 clients, we've done over 110,000 invoices here. All of that have started as a result of, one man in Dallas here, and God using one of our Christian brothers, sisters in Christ, friends of ours here, to just refer. And from that, with the hard work and grit, to where we are today. If somebody would say as a testimony to God and his goodness and grace upon me, because that was being at Walmart, guys, was one of the lowest part of my life as a husband and as a father, because I was the one that was supposed to provide. I was the one supposed to be there for my wife here. And yes, she was taking care of, of me. I was very low. If someone would have told me, if an angel of God would have came to me during that time, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning time, I'm just stocking, Purina dog food and meow cat food. And somebody would say, you know what? A year from now, you can't see it, but a year from now, God going to open the door and you're going to actually have your own limousine company. And not only that, but give it some time here, and you'll be making over 6 figures, enough to be able to provide for your family, to a point where your wife will be able to come on, to work with you, and you can grow it together. I probably would have laughed in their face because I didn't see it at all. Because again, what was the company I wanted to start? Y'all already know. Mm-hmm. Limousine company was nowhere in the mix at all. So when people ask me all the time, how did JIFE get started? I have to always tell them it really was a God move. God himself felt like, you know what, I can use Reginald and Natoyia to be able to do a work with this company here. And because of that, I know what he wants to do. He can go buy Subway sandwiches here. He can take his kids to the daycare. He can go to the car wash with the cars here. But I'm going to need him to do this business because the people lives that he's going to touch, him and his wife going to touch, and I need him to start this business. The name JIFE actually comes from a Christian rapper who actually, the name of the song is JIFE here. So when I heard the song here in the video here, it resonated in my heart to be able to start the company with the name JIFE Luxury Car Service. Now, go ahead and do this. Yeah.
That's amazing. Just that story. And I had a question. It left me. Oh, I was going to say.
Well, you're so much in tears. I ain't never seen you laugh that hard.
I know, because that was so funny to me. That was just so funny to me. I was going to make a statement to what you had said about the things that you wanted to start, which was probably, if you had a vision board, that would have been on your vision board.
Correct.
But God used something else. He had something else for you. And I heard somebody say this. I can't remember who I heard say this just recently. They have this business, and he was talking about how this business was, he never even dreamed of this business. He never even thought of this business. It wasn't a business that was on his vision board, anything he thought of. But God somehow gave a business to him that he was able to start and run.
Yeah.
And I hear the same thing for you. And I say that to say that a lot of times I have things on my vision board, that we have on our vision board that we want to do. And sometimes, like you said, God have different plans, and you have to be open to that. Yeah. And sometimes the way that he get you to that thing that he would take you to, you have to go through the valley. You have to go get to a low point because he has to build character while you're there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
if somebody was to really say I teach Nia and Layla all the time, our daughters, when they see us now. And, I always tell them that people can look at us now, Nia. I mean, we're not even where we're trying to really go, but just now. They can look at me now with the custom suits now that I wear. I'm trying to represent
and
the company.
I see the initials.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that I take pride in. And the reason why, I said, now people look at me and think that oh Lord, they always had. But y'all know the backstory. Y'all know that if God was to tell them, oh, you want what Reginald and Natoyia have here? Oh, okay. Well, first of all, here, you're going to need to go drive and deliver some pizza. You're going to have to be rejected by your wife here who don't want to have that piece of her sign there. I still have that shirt. I still have that shirt and that name tag today as a reminder, of all that, but point being is that, but they don't see the Walmart working the night shift. They don't see the pizza. They don't see me working for a whole year doing Uber. They don't see me starting a business with a white Infinity. Who starts a limousine company here without a limousine? And it's a white, Infinity sedan here. I mean, to me, I just see God all through it. So when I meet people now who may be celebrities or people who high caliber people, it doesn't faze me because in my mind, I'm thinking when I didn't have anything, God didn't even use people. He could have, but he didn't. He really used just regular Joe Blow people here to really allow me and Toy to build this business from the ground up here. And that's why, I don't look at anybody any different. I feel like we all have to come to the foot of the cross and we're going to treat you that way. One thing I can add to that is that some people, I was sharing this the other day. Somebody asked me, Reginald, you don't have to wear a suit. You're always wearing a suit. If it's 12 midnight or 2 a.m, you don't have to wear a suit. And I told him, I said, well, when a cop come to your home, they have on a uniform. This is my uniform here. I said, you will never see a doctor without a white coat on. Never. You'll never see a judge without the black robe here. And you'll never see me or any other chauffeurs, including my wife. We all dress up professionally. Our job is to give you a luxury service here. Now when it comes down to like if it's raining outside here, well, we don't have nothing on our website to say if it's raining and we use an umbrella, we're going to charge you a fee. We not that minute here, but we could say that what we show in the luxury part of our business is that it's the details that people remember. So if it's raining, you may not be thinking about it, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm picking up, Kevin, Tanya, it's raining to make sure they're not wet. I get soaking wet. I don't care about me. As long as you're not wet, I'm going to make sure I have an umbrella in the front. You don't even see it coming. But when we get ready to come to your home, I'm going to say, hey, Kevin, if you don't mind, let me get out and get your wife first with the umbrella, get you to the door. Brother Kevin, come back. I'm going to get you to the door. Y'all may not even say a word right then and there, but you may get in the home, inside your home, and kind of dry off and have a chance to unwind and go, wow. We ain't never had anybody to make us feel, and that's exactly what my wife is saying. We want you to feel that, it is an experience, not just a ride.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, amazing story. Yeah, I mean, it truly is, man. From where you came from up into where you guys are now. I want to go back a little bit just to talk about the time when Reginald, when you was going through that downplay in because at some point, even like you said, I think even in your mind, you're like, man, I'm working at Walmart. I'm doing, these little odd end jobs to try to make ends meet. I can imagine how that can be tough on the man, the mental piece.
Right.
I need to be supporting from my family, and this is what I'm doing.
Right.
Toyia, at that time, knowing he was going, did you know how he was feeling about that, and how did you help him in that time to support him, or did you support him? What was that like?
Well, I just supported.
Yeah.
It's important to me that my husband, maintains his dignity, his integrity. He's still the head of our home. the father of our children, my husband. He still leads the way. And in marriage, we're a team. And so it's not about who makes more money or who makes the least amount of money. It's how are we both coming together in order to meet, the needs of the whole of the family. And so I saw where he was definitely doing the best that he could. And so I was going to do whatever I needed to do in order to support him, or to support us. I didn't even look at it that way, to be quite honest with you. I really just looked at it as though we were working together, just like we're working together now. I mean, we've just been doing it the same way. And that's pretty much just how I looked at it.
Yeah, and I want to say that she did keep my, and that's something I say all the time. Toya, even with tears welling up in my eyes now, Toya have kept my dignity intact. She not one time said, I didn't sign up for this. You can do better. You moved us from Louisiana up here, and this is the man. I mean, she could threw every little jab she could at me at that time, and she would have been right. I mean, her make any statement, although it wouldn't have been anything building me up in my time of being broken, but she would have been right. I mean, because in my heart, the way that my mom raised me, she raised me that you don't. There's no need to take care of no woman if you can't take care of yourself, son. So for me, I know what my mom put inside of me. As a Christian, I know what it is as a husband and what I'm supposed to do. So when I say I was low, I really was low. Cause in my mind, I'm thinking that my wife is going to work and doing her profession, but I didn't know how she was looking at me at the time. I mean, I didn't give it much thought, but I'm thinking that, Walmart making what I think at the time was like $8 an hour. And then Pizza Hut, that was just on tips. I'm thinking, but for me, I appreciate that. It actually allows me, for me, it allows me to love Toya just a little bit more, more stronger for Toya, because in my mind, I'm thinking, you don't get a chance to build good marriage like this. When you go through stuff like this, it allows you in your marriage to really grow, and so some things, you can only get through, experience that God can use that to help to grow both of us, but at the same time, bond you just a little bit more closer.
What kept you, Reginald? What kept you mentally sound in that, and what pulled you out of that? Because, being low, feeling the way that you was feeling as a man, what pulled you out of that situation, and what kept you mentally sane in it to keep going?
Right. Well, one is that my mom used to always tell me that, son, you can do anything you put your mind to. And so for me, that was always in me each and every day. I used to have the mindset of, I really can do anything that I put my mind to. And I knew I wasn't going to stay there. In fact, when I was talking to a friend of mine here, and I was kind of getting his advice on where you think I should go, do Uber, or should I stay at, Walmart, or da-da-da. And really, I remember the conversation, his mindset was, Reginald, Walmart is an established business here, and hey, you can just start at the ground floor and work yourself on up here. And of course, it wasn't that it was a wrong answer. It's just that from his vantage point, he felt like, that's a good route for you to go. But I can hear the good Lord kind of tug me on, I'm going to need you to go to Uber. I didn't know why, but I'm going to need you to go that direction. So having my faith in God, constantly keep my feet to the ground. I just knew that, somehow, some way that God was going to open the door. Not the way I thought he was going to open the door through meeting a guy at downtown Dallas. I just thought that by me putting resumes out some more, that eventually that, I would get a hit and that I can just work for a company and just kind of start from there. I didn't know that, God had that direction of, of carrying me that direction. But I really went, I went full force. I was all in, when he actually led me towards that direction. And when he did, it was a time where I think my wife, I remember a time where I came home early, and it's not like I'm making much when I'm doing Uber. I came home early, and she was asking me, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm home. I'm done. And so she felt like, well, you don't want to go do anything else. But I felt like, no, I said, I'm trying to transition out of Uber to working for myself in the sense of, this business. And I can't do Uber if I'm actually trusting God to do X, Y, and Z. So to answer your question, can be scary when you really stepping out on faith here and you really cannot see. It'll be good if God can actually say, you know what, I'm gonna show you everything you need to know. It makes it easy to just walk. But when you really don't have that, and I thank her for not fighting me too, because it's hard to not see, and you got your wife fighting you, or vice versa. You can't see, and you got your husband fighting the wife here. It's hard to move forward here. So I just thank God for being able to keep my eyes on Him. I know it can be like a spooky, a good answer to just give. It really is the truth here. I appreciate God being able to just lead. I did not know, but by faith here, I follow, and because of that, we're where we are today, and I'm just so glad that I just was able to take a leap of faith.
Wow. So tell you after the consulting, right, situation,
that crash and burn,
now he's coming and saying, hey, I'm about to leave Uber and start my own car business, luxury transportation service. Did you have any, hesitation there, you know what I'm saying, or feelings about it?
I didn't, because it was something that it seemed like to me, it was a transition. But it was like he was already driving anyway. So I don't know if it felt different.
It kind of made sense.
Because he was already driving. And so we just made a few changes, of course, where it was just him. But it started off where he met a lot of his first clients in that way. And then, of course, the referrals and whatnot. But it felt the same to me. It didn't. Now, if it were the same thing that he may have been going into, that may have been a little different. Like, wait, hold on now. We just went down that road. But this was him, I saw things happening. I saw where he was working. Things were coming in. No, it may not have been as much, but something was coming, and that was consistency for me. And I think the key is consistency, in the right ways. And so no, it didn't throw me off, but I think that could be why, because I felt like it was the same for me, maybe because I was on the outside looking in,
Yeah. And a shout out to my wife too, because honestly, she is right. The other couple did crash and burn, and that's something that other couples may go through in their own marriage where, and you really have a right to say, because you may feel like, well, this didn't work here. Why should I believe you that this will work here? And I know that sometimes couples will deal with that, where really you want to believe in your spouse. You're not trying to put them down, but you're looking like, but reality is that, bills have to be paid. And if bills have to be paid and you're talking about you dreaming, mm-hmm. And you trusting in God. Yes, you trusting in God, but until that time comes, what do we do with the bills that needs to be, paid here? Mm-hmm. So, I would say that, for Toya, I thank God for Toya having the mindset of, not, patting down or putting down, JIFE Luxury Cars. I'm so glad she did. I'm so glad that as we travel, I guess I can say that to Toya every time we travel. I'm so glad you patted down the dream. As we go to nice hotels and stuff, aren't you so glad, or go to a nice steakhouse place, aren't you so glad you didn't pat? Thank God that Toya really didn't, put down, because if so, I could have had the direction of, well, she's right, Lord. I don't want to take that chance and risk again here, then it's another failure, and I put our family further behind, and we got to dig ourselves back out here. It could have been that, but I literally thank God on a regular basis here for my wife really caring enough, even if she didn't do anything but just be quiet. I mean, in a sense, didn't say anything, but just allowed me to I'm going to watch and see. I'm glad she gave me a chance to watch and see.
Was this your second adventure?
Yeah, second.
Yeah, that you went into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And to be fair, to like, as far as you mentioned, like other individuals or couples that may be in business together, or where they may be married and you have that dreamer, and you have that dreamer, but as we say, you know, dreams don't pay the bills.
Right.
Like I think what you mentioned earlier. As so that could feel a lot different because, you know, I did have a job and what I brought in, it did help, you know, to help us make ends meet. You know, I believe that we can definitely be minimalists, you know, so if it has to be, you know, beans and rice for the week, you know, with some, I
Which
mean,
we
you
grew
do
up on
what
anyway.
you have to do, you do what you have to do until you can do better.
Right.
And you know, you're disciplined in that way. I don't have to have all of the flashy stuff. I just don't. I know how to shop thrifty, clearance, whatever, you know, so, but just to be fair though, I did work and, you know, we were able to make ends meet. And in doing that, that could sometimes also, you know, make the reality a little easier.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know?
yeah.
But
Oh,
if
yeah.
you don't have anything coming in, then I can also understand someone who says, okay, we need some money because we got to pay the bills, you know? So I'm just grateful that what I do know is that if that is what God has for you, then God will make a way for you through that. And that's exactly what he did. So.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I want to say that Toya, of course, JIFE wouldn't be what JIFE is today if I mean, JIFE was on diapers, you know, when we started year one. And it was my wife's income that helped to bridge the gap here. I think the first year, I think we started in September. So that first year, half the year, really, I think we brought in like $9,000 of business in sales there. The next year was like 30,000. And then of course it kept on climbing there. I can only say since we started, there have never been a year where we have been in the red. I mean, we have constantly have grown it. You know, every single year have continue just, you know, to grow. But yeah, but I always tell people that you know, yes, I may have done a lot of the work and X, Y, and Z and building relationships and but Jive wouldn't be there if it wasn't for my wife helping to put some Pampers on Jive. You know, because again, it was her income that helped to bridge the gap. You know, now once Jive started, went from crawling to walking. Okay, now we're able to hold our own, and then I felt good about, you know, bringing in an income that can help the household. But yes, it was my wife here who really pretty much kind of bridged that gap, and that does help, you know.
For sure.
Mhm.
So that elephant you spoke about earlier.
Oh yes.
So let's talk about that. Let's expound on that because we've had our elephants in our business, you know, trying to decipher some things and figure it out, you know. What does that look like for you guys in terms of this elephant that's maybe kind of got you guys, you know?
I don't know if that's a Geico commercial or some kind of commercial that deals with. Look, I'm gonna need you to smile. It helps when you smile. When you have that, you know, I'm looking like you know, you're gonna see yourself on camera and realize I can smile more. You have to smile. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, smile. Yeah. Smile. Okay. So I want to say that you know it's a commercial that deals with this guy saying, you know, stay in your lane. You be like, stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane here, because he was trying to do a tattoo for a guy, but he was trying to tell the guy who do the tattoo how to do his job, and that's when the guy looked at the guy, stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane, bro. But with me and Toya, I felt like that with her. Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane here. Because Toya just came on now, going on 2 years. Now, we're 9 years in the business here, which means that, you know, for 7 years, I've been holding it down. I've been doing everything here. There's nothing jive with, from water to gas here to, you know, to booking to invoices here. I had all those hats here. Erica Badu had nothing on me before I'd been the hat lady. I went all, yeah, the bag lady. Okay, I was the hat guy. I had nothing on me because of the fact that I was doing everything. Well, she came aboard here, and I'm thinking that, you know, okay, well, look, you good with administrative role here. You're going to do X, Y, Z. But my wife felt the need that she wanted to just take stuff and just go buy this, go buy that. I'm like, whoa. We don't have money for all that. I mean, I understand that you're trying to do this and market that, and we want to do that. But our bumping head have come talk to me first here. Well, then my wife felt like, you know, well, we won. We all won. but you ain't running this. I mean, you have to know that there cannot be two heads. I mean, she really felt like it was two heads that they have to. We married. Okay, so then I had to realize, okay, we can't be married at work. I see this now. In fact, what you want me to call you? Call me Miss Giles. Well, we'll call you Miss Giles here from 6 in the morning to 4 p.m. and then after that you can go back to being Natalia. But so I try to help us to ask God to give me wisdom, and one of that was really dealing with the fact that sometimes my wife likes to mix, literally mix a wife here in with employee, and I'm to tell her, we can't mix the two together here. You got to be able to, to take my lead here. I know where we're going. You talk about vision board. I already know where I'm going. God done told me what I need to do here. He don't need a second Moses here. He had already told the first Moses here. I got my own staff here. I just need you to just come aboard side and just, ride with me. So a lot of time, my wife will feel the need that she wants to, I guess, get in her feelings here. I feel like, she administrated a role here and feel like, I don't know what Toya feeling. So Toya had to answer that for herself, how she was feeling. I just felt like, we can't run this here with two heads. And I just always tell her, in the words of my godfather, anything with two heads on one neck is a freak. We are not a freak here. We have one head. If God has called me to be the head that for us in our marriage here, just know that there's can only be one CEO. I said, and think about it. There's only one president of the United States, I told her. There's only one CEO in corporations here. They may have CFO, COO, CIO, but there's no president here. None. So I think we bumped heads with that for a while. And she finally got to it took her a minute. I think it got to a couple of times where I felt like, I don't know if we're gonna make it here. I mean, you may have to look for another job here because
you're gonna fire your wife.
Well, I did one time. Look, she tapped me. I did. Look.
Got her with you.
No. You can answer the question. No. She God's supposed to her home. God's supposed to her to come on over here.
Real coming out now.
Yeah. Look, fire the same day and rehire the same day.
Yeah. Same day.
In the same day. But my attitude is that we can't move forward here if you're not willing to actually go according to my drum. If you had a company, if you had a company that God put in your heart to do X, Y, and Z, my job when we're working is to support you. Now, as husband and wife at home, I'm the head. But as far as the business here, if it's yours and God gave it to you, I just want to do whatever I can to support you. That's just how I'm built. I'm not trying to come in and trying to fight for the role. I don't need to fight for a role here. The money's still going to the same bank account, right? We still taking trips here. Oh, well, I don't need to fight you for that. Tell me what you need me to do to help us to grow. My wife didn't have that same spirit. I don't know what kind of spirit she had. Well, that's a fighting spirit.
What kind of spirit you had?
That Muhammad Ali spirit. I don't know.
He said, we'll find you another job.
Because we can't move forward if you're constantly doing. I can't have stuff popping up on the email, stuff that you ain't done, and I'm looking like, well, hold on, we ain't had this talk, and you still go do it. Look, oh no, oh no,
Calm down.
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, so really, we really got past that. Really in the first year. I mean, but ever since then we've been smooth selling. My wife now, you know what? You the head of the company. You run it here. I'm just gonna go by your drum beat here. What can we do to work together?
I had to make some mistakes.
Yeah.
And in doing that, and that's the thing. I came in, and it was more of, even though I'm coming in, let me help you. So yes, I was more like, let me do this, let me do that, let me do the research, it was kind of like, now I'm taking over in a way. Reginald was looking like, I've been doing this.
It's been working for 7 years.
Wow, now,
Mm-hmm.
I think I got it. And in large part, it was my approach, and then also understanding the transition. And then even he would come and say, like we operate in two different roles. Like you have your strengths, Toya. I have my strengths, Toya. And so you operate over here.
Right.
And he would always break it down and it would make sense. But what I've learned about myself, and that's the thing I think with couples, you have to recognize what is your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and then even in recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses, knowing what the boundaries are and putting some systems in place to help you. And so one of the things we went through that year, and he would sit me down, kind of we'll talk through it, and it would make perfect sense. For example, Toya, just because you thought it doesn't mean you just have to go and do it right then.
Right.
I'm one of those people. I'm very, if I'm feeling it, I want to do it right now.
Right.
I don't want to have to think about it because you're going to have to think about it. I just want to do it right now, and so, but there's safety, what they say, there's safety in the multitude of counsel. And so even in my previous we would sit down, have meetings, everybody would talk and discuss, what was to go on or what was to happen. But I wasn't doing that. He would find out after the fact. And so rightfully so,
that's what you got fired.
I said, I've never been fired from a job. You're not firing me. What you thinking, brother? No.
You ain't gonna run me. Yeah, I've been doing all this for 7 years. You gonna come in here?
No.
I'm like, oh.
No, but I give him that. He held his ground.
Well, thank God.
And I let him have it.
I'm glad you let me have it.
But the biggest part was for me learning that, hey, we're both working, we're both trying to figure this out. What is my role?
Yeah.
We had to talk about, okay, these are the things that you're responsible for. These are the things that he's going to be responsible for. We broke that down. But then I also had to learn, okay, instead of me just doing things, I need to plug on our calendar. This is a meeting, or here's an update. Just like you would do with anyone else that you work with or you work unison with. Hey, let's talk about some of the things that I've looked over. This was my responsibility. It's the end of the week. Now we can kind of review and I can give you an update on some of the things I've been working on, and then that's when we kind of have that conversation and we go through it from there. And then we'll say, okay, let's move forward on this. Or let's hold off over here, and that kind of deal. So I just had to slow down.
Get in your lane.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane, bro.
I had to slow down a bit and respect the process, but then also respect, his input and realize I'm not running this by myself. I'm, let him lead.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it is my attitude here. Yeah.
And then, but the good thing about it is that we've realized, or at least I've been able to see how in doing that, we come together and in communicating, then 9 out of 10 is what I'm saying anyway.
Right.
But it's the approach though. We definitely gotta, I've had to really rethink my approach.
Yeah.
For sure.
One of Toya's weakness is that she can micromanage, and she don't mean no harm. I think it's just something that she discovered, and I discovered that. Yeah, I'm serious. We both discovered, that she likes to micromanage. So a lot of times she'll catch herself, when I'm getting a phone call or something, she'll make the statement about, don't forget to tell them, this, don't forget to tell them that, don't. And then I'm looking like, I was doing this for 7 years before you. I know what to say. I know how to talk here. Look, where were you year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4? I mean, you don't have to, now if I ask you for your help, I need help. But if I don't ask, I don't need to tell them.
And I'll say that. And to add to that piece, I'll say this. For anyone, I would say, you know each other's strengths, but respect it. Meaning it may not make sense to me, but it works. And it works for him. It may not be the way that I would say it. It may not be the way that I would do it. But God is going to use him and his gift. I have to stay out of the way. Nobody's being hurt in the process. It's like I have to organize that in my own mind. Like it doesn't have to be the way you see it, Toya, or the way you would have done it. Reginald is not you, and you are not Reginald. Allow him to operate in his gifts.
Yeah, for sure. And what my wife mean by that is that, you know, she may, if she hear me on the phone, if someone calls her and they're new. Well, because they're new and I'm all about building that relationship, Toya may be like black and white about, you know, okay, you calling for what? What's your name? What's your email address here? What time need to be picked up? Okay, thank you. Got the credit card on file. We'll see you on Monday. That's it. Me, I'm going to get all that information, but I'm going to get it through a sense of conversation here. You know, well, how's the weather here? How you doing? How did you hear about us here? Oh, okay, good here. You know, oh, we thank God for next door. Oh, yeah. But so I'm doing the relationship part where my wife feel like, it don't take all that at the beginning. It don't take all that, you know, and then she realized, Lord, folks still booking with us. Folks enjoy Reginald. They love Reginald. They do X, Y, and Z. Well, apparently it works there. And that's what she mean by the fact that it works. So although I may not do it the way that Toya do it, Toya had to realize that, you know, long as the money's coming in, long businesses is being built here, you know, hey, let God continue to use you in the business the way he used you. And let God continue to use Toya in the way that he used Toya. Because there's some people that love Toya that they have a more love for Toya than they do for me. Okay, look, long as the money coming in, long as we build, I'm good. And look, I told Toya, look, long as they love me and I'm climbing in bed with you at the end of the night, as my dad likes to say, I climb in bed with you at the end of the night here. You know, I appreciate the fact that folks may love and care for us here, but long as the business is being built here, yeah, it's a win-win.
But that's introverts. We want to get straight to it. We don't want to hear what the weather is like. We just want to give me this, give me that, bam, got that, cool. Talk to you next time. That's just how we are.
Right.
And then with because my husband's the same way. And he's on his head out. He's like, yeah, she's right. He's more of the relationship person. I honestly am not.
Right.
But also I wanted to say when it comes to micromanagement, I think that's just in us as women. Like we feel like we can sometimes, men like to fix things. We feel like we can make it better.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think
we do make it.
We do with some, you know, with some we do make it.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I feel like we should be able to give our input too. Because, you know, we have great ideas. We have great suggestions sometimes. And sometimes we also have to keep y'all from crashing and burning or tearing things down or saying the wrong thing and that kind of stuff. So we help.
Oh yeah. And Toya can tell you that, you know, for who I am, anything that we're doing in the business here, yes, I can have the attitude of, you know, I've been doing this all this time and continue. I really can't talk to her about everything. So the very thing she micromanaging me about, I'm looking like, but I come to you. I talk to you, you know, I get your input here. Even a situation we had this morning dealing with a client here, I could have handled that on my own, but I came to my wife and said, hey, how do you feel about this here? What do you have? Toya have come up with some great ideas. I tell her, cool. No problem. Anything that helps the business grow, I don't care who idea it is. All I care about is, did God give it to you? Okay, we didn't give it to me. Apparently, he know my weaknesses. Okay, so we're going to roll with yours. Toy can come up with all the business and do all the things. I wouldn't even care. All I care about is just growing.
And I think that's what we've learned. It's the approach. It's, and it's like with marriage, right? It's not, like people say, it's not what you say, it's how you say. I grew up with that, right? But even in marriage and in relationships, and now I'm learning in business, it's important how we approach each other, how I come to him, how he comes to me. We have triggers. It's important to recognize what those are. What is the best way that I can reach him? Or what is the best way that he can reach me? And I've seen in this time of working together that just makes the process so much smoother. And it's like, man, okay, he heard all of that. You know, and you know how sometimes, Tanya, we'll hear from some of the older women, you know, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, just make them think they decided it. And I'm like, how do you have patience for that? You know, no,
Make them believe they came up with it.
Yeah, right. I've heard it.
You know, what I've learned though is that there's really magic in it when we learn each other. Not so much, oh, I know this about myself. It's, no, I know this about my husband. And because I know this about my husband, regardless of myself right now, let me do what I know it's going to take in order to reach him.
And vice
That's
versa.
good. That's good. So this has been all good. I have 2 more questions before we wrap up, but
Okay.
you have anything? You good? So
I'm good.
one is, what can someone expect when they call JIFE and to get your service? What can they expect from beginning to end?
Okay. Well, that's an administrative question. There you go. Take it away.
They can expect, I guess, pretty much what we've been talking about. They can expect relational, interpersonal, engaging, communication, and excellence at its best. You know, how we communicate with our customers, honesty. It's not about, I know my husband keeps saying growing the business and long as we get the money in, but really it's not about the money at the end of the day. It's about, is this a service that you need? This is what we will provide. And this is, you know, what's available. You know, now you close it.
Okay. Well, I will close in simply saying that we can marry the two together here.
Yeah.
That yes, it is about the money, but it's also too about the relationship, and we want to be able to stand apart. We want you to be able to have the experience that when you call, that at the end of the day that we care. You're not just a number. It's not about your money here. If we do right by you and caring and letting you feel that we care about you and your service and how hard you work for your money, the money will come. You know, in fact, when we do a good job here, our tip is already in the invoice here. And we have found that, you know, at least 99% of the time, folks still want to tip more. And a lot of times I tell them, sir, ma'am, the tip is already included. We know that, but we just want to give more. What they're really saying is that not only did we enjoy the service, we really enjoy the service, and we're showing it through our pocketbook. So when they call overall, you should be able to feel like, you know, a human being in the sense that we care about our clients at the end of the day. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that, you know, you come first.
I love it. I love it. Love it. And my last and final question is, I'm going to start with a statement, because as I'm thinking about everything that you guys, where you started from into where you guys are now, just to think that you used to deliver pizza in the same neighborhood where you now pick people up in your own business, right? In your own car service. It's crazy.
That's
right?
a wild statement.
It's wild stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at God. And so my thing is now, from where now Toya's on board, y'all running it together, y'all got the kids involved in it a little bit as well. What is the vision, the big goal? What do you see, guys? What do you see, Jai, 5-10 years from now for you guys?
Right. I know that, you know, I don't want Jive to get so big where we lose that personal relationship. So for me, of course, you know, I never had it where we had to have 40 or 50 or 60 fleece, you know, cars. But again, keep in mind, that's how I feel. I felt that way once before, and God gave us a limousine business. So I'm saying this here, God could be in heaven laughing, going, ha, 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 ha. I know what you want, Reginald, but this is what we need. But as far as what I see is that I do see us having, which is what we're doing now, contracts here that we apply for, local with the city, the state, the government. So I do want that. I do want to have it where, you know, we, as a company, give out scholarships every year, you know, to give back here. We're already doing the 50 hours a year, but the scholarship that we want to actually give, that's a dream, a passion of mine that I really want to be able to just give that. Also, too, I want to have it where we actually that JIFE have like investments there, you know, things that, you know, we can invest in as far as to branch out in other parts of business to help someone else. You and your wife, for example, may actually need help in business here, and y'all may just need startup cash or something. We want to have it where we can actually give back, just like with me and Natoyia now. A good example of that is that we have a commercial now. We don't have cable, but we have cable in the sense of, you know, we may have another form of apps and streaming that we do, but not cable. But we got a grant with my wife here, because not me, but my wife, she actually applied for a grant because we was with the Grand Prairie Chamber of Commerce, which of course you're a part of. But it was somebody that came to the other meeting, talked about, the commercial that they have done. Toya applied for the grant here, and we actually got that $15,000 grant. It pays for $5,000 for the month of July, August, and September, I believe. And every month, every week, every day, really kind of put our commercial out there. And that's as a result of my wife applying for grants. So with grants, with contracts here, that we actually want to do, scholarships here, of course, here. We really want to just maintain that personal relationship, where we build a company, but build it with the mindset of just relationship being involved.
I
Nice.
absolutely love it, and I love it.
Wow.
You guys are doing some amazing stuff, man, and I love that
Amazing.
you guys have gotten to a point where you're in a place and you're also thinking about giving back. Right?
Love
You
giving
got
back,
in
yeah,
place to kind
Absolutely.
of give back to the community, and that's pretty dope, man. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, man, thank you guys so much, man, for being a part of
Yeah.
Couples Connect. This was
Thank you.
amazing. Just to hear your story, it's truly, truly inspiring. Pizza, Walmart, dude.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, she might have had her hand folded when you were leaving with that.
She
pizza
did.
on your
Shame.
truck, but
Shame.
now she rolling.
With Joe. Yeah. She rolling.
Enjoying the trips and all that, right?
Right.
So,
Mhm.
man, it's such an amazing, like a Cinderella story, right? You
Yeah, it
kind of
is.
went from the bottom, and
Yeah.
look, I'm
We
here
did.
now.
Look at God.
So thank you guys, man, once again for being a part of Couples
Yeah.
Connect and sharing
Thank
your
you for having
story.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely, man. So, hey, we're going to drop all the information in the show notes, man. Check it out, man. Get with JIFE. JIFE will take you wherever you want to go, baby. They're going to do it, not just take you there, but they're going to take you there in excellence. They're going to give you an experience.
Yes.
Luxury car service, man, that's going to transport you wherever you need to go. If you just want to hang out, date night, all these different things, man, give JIFE a call. Once again, all the information is going to be in the show notes. Hey, man, make sure, subscribe,
Like, share.
like, share, Couples Connect with other people, man. Let them be inspired about these amazing couples and the things they're doing in their marriage, in their business, in their home, and how a lot of them are actually putting God first, and God is the head of all this thing, all these
Amen.
things that they got going on. So, man, make sure you connect with Couples Connect, man, because we got more amazing couples, just like the Giles family coming up. So stay tuned, lock in. Hey, man, it's Couples Connect, and we out. Peace.